It's no secret that Sony makes some of the best noise cancelling headphones in the business. Now, I personally am a huge fan of the company's WH-1000xM3, but let's face it, not everybody can splurge upwards of Rs 27,000 on a pair of brand new headphones. Now that's where the company's all-new Hear-on 3 WH-910N comes into the picture, which brings the best of the flagship Mark III headphones to a relatively affordable price point. Hey guys, I'm Prateek from Mr. Phone, and in this review, I will be talking you through the WH-910N's pros and cons, and penultimately I'll tell you if it's a good buy for you or not. But before we get on with the video, make sure to hit the bell icon and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already, so that you don't miss out on any awesome tech content that we put out. Now that you have done that, let's get on with the video. Now I know the sound of a headphone makes or breaks its sale, but the design plays a pivotal role too. Now to that note, the Sony WH-910N draws a lot of inspiration in terms of design from the flagship WH-1000xM3 headphones. Now that's not to say that these headphones are a carbon copy of the flagship model, but I'm sure the eagle-eyed among you must have noticed a difference already. The Hear-on 3 has been constructed in entirety using plastic, whereas you'll be able to find traces of metal in the build of the flagship model. Furthermore, the M3s feature thicker padding on the headband along with more pronounced ear cups with plusher cushioning too. And since we are on the topic, the padding on the Hear-on 3 features a matrix pattern which brings a touch of panache to the pair's otherwise minimalistic design, something that's not present on the M3's ear cups. At a close press briefing, folks at Sony told me that they have reworked the company's logo on the newer model, making it seem more pronounced. Thankfully, the company's branding on the cans is still subtle enough to not give the impression of a gaudy billboard advertisement. The headphones in general have a minimalistic design which I'm sure will appeal to a lot of buyers. Unfortunately, the company is only bringing the black color variant of the pair to India, which is a bummer as I'm sure the headphones would have stood out more in the orange and green hues available elsewhere. The On3s definitely lost some style points here. Moving on, I quite like the power and ANC button, which by the way is reprogrammable on the Hear-on 3s, which have been positioned on the left ear cup as they aren't too mushy and offered a decent tactile feedback. You'll also get a USB Type-C port for charging along with a headphone jack, which will come in handy should the pair run out of charge. And that's not all. Similar to the flagship model, the WH-910N also comes with touch controls that can be accessed from the right ear cup. So you can swipe up or down to increase or decrease the volume and swipe left or right to change the music track. A double tap will play or pause the music, and long press will invoke the smart assistant of your choice, be it Siri, Alexa or Google Assistant. And my favorite feature from Sony's flagship headphones has made its way on the Hear-on 3s too. So instead of constantly disabling the ANC feature, you can simply place your hand on the right ear cup to hear what's going on in the outside world. This is particularly useful when you're at an airport and want to quickly listen to an announcement. As for the rest of the touch controls, they work well for the most part, but there were times when the headphones failed to register my commands promptly. Sony Hear-on 3 is aces in my book when it comes to comfort too. Now, the headphone is of the over-ear variety, but it is noticeably more compact than the Mark III or other competing headphones in the same price range. You can even fold the ear cups and pack the headphones in a nylon pouch, which comes bundled with the retail box. Coming back to the comfort though, the Hear-on 3 offers just the right amount of clamping force, and although the padding on the headband doesn't seem like much, I was able to comfortably wear the pair for over 2 hours without feeling any wear fatigue. My ears did get warm after some time had passed, but that's the case with most if not all other headphones too. At least with the Hear-on 3, I didn't sweat into the cushioning. All in all, the On3's design stands out not because it's unique, but because it's functional to its very core. Spec-wise, the Sony WH-910N is backed by a pair of 25mm dome-shaped drivers which are positioned inside each ear cup. Now the headphones are high-res certified and can operate across a frequency range of 5Hz to 40,000 kHz. Now, provided you cannot shell out the extra money for a high fidelity streaming service like Tidal, you do get the company's DSEE-HX tech on board, which essentially upscales the quality of MP3s to lossless music. As for the codecs, the Sony headphones, the Sony WH-910N, they come with support for LDAC, AAC and SBC. which should pretty much cover all the bases. Now the lack of Qualcomm's aptX codec is missed here, and I'm not exactly sure why the company omitted that, but for now let's move on to the sound quality of the headphones. The Sony Heron 3 offers noticeably lesser bass than the Mark III's, which is not surprising given the smaller drivers powering the headphones. In fact, a bass head will instantly dismiss its tamed low-end output. Now if you fall under that category, then honestly fast forward to the end of the review and I'll have some recommendations for you there. For everyone else, here's the lowdown of the headphones performance. Firstly, while the low-end output isn't as impactful, it's not half bad either. The Beats do offer a satisfactory thump which makes listening to popular hip-hop songs fun. A fringe benefit of the same is that the low end doesn't interfere with the rest of the frequencies and you get a cleaner, more natural audio output from the headphones when compared to say the Mark III's. Furthermore, the low end has minimal decay and the headphones quickly transition from one beat to the next, so you won't hear a beat linger around for long either. A good example of the same is Make It Burn Them by Skrillex, a track which has a ton of chaotic beats which all somehow make sense when relayed through the Heron 3. That's partly why the mid-range of the Heron 3 struck out to me in the first place. Now, I was expecting the headphones in typical Sony fashion would deliver slightly darker recessed vocals, but somehow the pair preserved the tonality of a singer's voice completely, and that just made listening to acoustic blues that more fun. Tracks from artists like Lewis Capaldi sound phenomenal on the headphones, and it helps that the pair isn't sibilant either. So even when the artist is pushing their pipes to the absolute limit, you won't feel the urge to turn down the volume on the Heron 3's as the audio won't bite or hiss in your ears. Now you can enjoy listening to rock songs on the Heron 3, but honestly the soundstage feels a little too constricted for my liking. Now it's definitely wider on the Mark III's, the flagship model, and the imaging could have been better too, but if you're only listening to alt rock songs which don't have a lot of instruments and very little riffs, then you'll be fine. But if you want to listen to chaotic metal ballads on the Heron 3, then, well, I'll be honest with you, the sound quality is not very good. The tracks go muddy really quickly, especially at higher volume levels. But on the whole, the Heron 3s offer a good listening experience. Now, compared to the flagship Mark III model from the company, they offer a cleaner, clearer sound output, but they miss out on the depth in the bass, and they also don't offer a richer sound, as rich sound output as the Mark III do. Now, if you're a frequent traveler, then you'll love the battery backup on the Heron 3, which per the company can last up to 35 hours of a single charge. And sure enough, I only charged the cans once in a span of 5 days, with my usage including listening to music, watching videos for around 3 hours every day. Suffice it to say, it's very hard to kill the battery on the Heron 3, but it's equally tedious to charge it back as the headphones take around 5 hours to reach full charge. Thankfully, you can get a 2.5 hour top-up of a 10-minute charge for when you're in a rush, but that is contingent to if you're using a fast-charging USB brick. Of course, these are ANC headphones, so you can muffle the chitter-chatter in your office to some degree. Now, the quality of the ANC is really good, but it's not the pin drop silence I'd associate with the flagship Mark III headphones or the Bose 700 headphones which launched recently for that matter, but it gets pretty close. You also get adaptive sound control with the pair, a feature which has trickled down from the Mark III, which automatically detects if you're walking or sitting and changes the sound settings automatically. As for the app, you can pair the Heron 3 to Sony's Headphone Connect app, which lets you change the headphones EQ, variate the ANC levels, and change the function of the custom button. The app has a minimalistic UI and has all the options labeled neatly, so no complaints here. So the Sony WH-910N or the Heron 3 retail for Rs 21,990, and for the price they do bring a lot of convincing features like ANC, good sound quality, a very comfortable design, and a long-lasting battery life. Unfortunately, the pricing of the headphones is just not very competitive, and for Rs 2,000 more you could get the flagship Mark III headphone from websites like Headphone Zone and whatnot. Also, if you're willing to save some money, then you could actually get the Skullcandy Venue, which retails for just Rs 13,000 rupees, and for that price it offers very good ANC, much deeper bass than what you would get with the Heron 3, and it comes with support for tile as well. So as things stand, the Heron 3 are excellent headphones, but it's very hard to recommend them at their current pricing. So what I would instead do is wait for these headphones to go on sale, and when they are 17 or 18,000 rupees, well, at that price point, the Heron 3 is a no-brainer. But guys, that wraps up my full review of the Sony Heron 3 headphones. Do let me know in the comments below if you enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to give us a big thumbs up. Until next time, this is Prateek from Mr. Phone signing off.